Number 2 on the Roper Report, Sony is experimenting with AI-powered PlayStation characters. This is Tom Warren at The Verge. Sony is working on a prototype AI-powered version of at least one of its PlayStation game characters. An anonymous tipster has shared an internal video from Sony PlayStation's group with The Verge that demonstrates an AI-powered version of Aloy from Horizon Forbidden West. After we published the story, the video was pulled from YouTube due to a copyright claim from Muso, a copyrights enforcement company which advertises Sony Interactive Entertainment, aka PlayStation, as a client. The video is narrated by Sharwin Ragahobajaldal, a director of software engineering.
You fucking crushed that name.
Thank you. At Sony Interactive Entertainment, who works on video game technology, AI, computer vision, and face technology for Sony's PlayStation Studios Advanced Technology Group. We watched Sharwin demonstrate an AI-powered version of Aloy that could hold a conversation with a player through voice prompts during gameplay. Aloy could be seen responding to queries with an AI-powered synthesized voice and facial movements, both in a demo setting and within the full Horizon Forbidden West game. He makes it clear that this is just a prototype and has been developed alongside Guerrilla Games to demonstrate the technology internally at Sony. The technology demo uses OpenAI's Whisper for speech-to-text and both GPT-4 and Llama 3 for conversations and decision-making.
So happy they're using Llama 3 and not 2.
Oh, God. I can't wait for 4, though, or Llama 3 Pro. Sony has its own internal emotional voice synthesis, EVS, system that it uses for speech generation, according to the man. And audio-to-face animation is powered by Sony's own Mockingbird technology. While the demo is seen running on PC, Sony has also experimented with running parts of this technology directly on PlayStation 5 consoles with little overhead, according to the presentation. Sony first demonstrated this internally a year ago before showing a more advanced version behind closed doors at its Sony Technology Exchange Fair, STEF, in Tokyo in November. How many more goddamn acronyms can they toss into this one fucking article? Quote, "This is just a glimpse at what is possible," he said. This tech demo doesn't answer the more obvious questions over whether it even makes sense to talk to Aloy when you're supposed to be playing. Oh, come on now.
Come on.
That's a bridge too far. It's supposed to be playing as her at Horizon Forbidden West, or the impact such a technology could have on voice actors and video game developers. Yes. Let's go with the latter, not the former. It's a fucking tech demo, of course. And then right there, James nails it in the live chat. I wonder how Ashley Birch feels about this. Me too. Me fucking too.
I'm sure not great.
I would
just
pretty,
like
I know you signed a contract, you signed the thing. I'm sure there's a bunch of shit you did, but this, and I didn't see the video. Did you watch it before it got taken down? I don't know if it's actually synthesizing Ashley's voice or if it's just like an AI thing, but whatever.
God,
come on.
This sucks, man.
Not her voice, says Mander. Okay.
This sucks mainly because I don't see an end to this that anybody cares about or wants. Like, it's not even like this is a tool that feels like it's helping get towards somewhere that anybody with a creative brain is interested in, you know? So like a lot of the AI stuff, it's like, okay, I get it. I can see why this happened. Things like this, I'm just like, I can't even fathom the implementation of this that gets people going of like, this is what worth investing in. And it's creepy and weird.
Yeah, this is so similar to when we were talking about NFTs a couple years ago, where it's like somebody's going to try to keep figuring this out. And I'm sure eventually there might be a use to it that I'm like, oh, okay. If I'm grasping at straws here, why would this matter? What would this be? Let's put aside all the ethical problems with it. The idea would be eliminating that thing we see in games where I beat someone to death in front of a character and then go and talk to this other character and the character's like, oh, hey, how are you? You know what I mean? They'd be able to be like, what the fuck did you just do? Like, but is that really worth throwing this out and burning how many lakes full of water to make sure Chat GPT can be like, did you just beat that hooker to death? Anyways, here's your quest. Like, what are we talking about?
Yeah, and like we all know that no matter how good that stuff is, even assuming it's good, it won't feel authentic and it won't feel curated. Like, that's the thing is like, what's the point if it is just, if everything's going to react the way that it's quote unquote supposed to react?
Yeah.
That's not a story. That's just cause and effect.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
And so like, again, to try to bring it back to a middle area and in a world where it isn't going to fucking ruin the environment and we're all going to die and capitalism's killing us. The idea there could be that you would still have writers. You would still have all these people who are making the narrative and making the side missions. And then this kind of tech is coming in just to fill in those little gaps, to stitch things together to make them more sense. So like, again, when I give you this example, I ask you, is it even fucking worth it? But it is. You go to the main quest giver and they're like, oh, we got reports that you climbed through that window and killed this guy with your hidden blade. Like just to give you specificity on how you did the mission.
But that already exists, right? Like that is the AI that's existed in games. I think developers create that artificial intelligence to be able to link things and remember things, and if this, then that, and all that stuff. Like, this is just a new level of like generating things that, again, the generative AI is the problem. The other AI is tech that is a tool that you're using, and it's up to you how you use it. Obviously, any tool can be used for good or bad. You can kill people with a hammer. I've seen it done.
Kingpin.
Yeah. But like, when it comes to this stuff, it's like, this seems like a push for tech to be able to raise stock money.
Yes.
More than anything else. And when that is the starting and end goal, instead of like, oh, this is a creative thing to solve a creative problem, which, like, again, clearly, I don't think that there is a problem here that needs to be solved.
Great point.
So,
that's a great way to put it. Yeah. And real quick, hey, Kevin, how's the stock market doing?
Oh, God, it's bad.
All right.
It's bad, Greg. But don't worry, it'll get better eventually. Just let's wait 4 years from now.
Sounds about right. This episode is brought to you by Monster Hunter Now. Whether I'm taking Ben to the playground, soccer practice, or on a hike with Jen, I'm wandering the outdoors more than ever. That's where Monster Hunter Now comes in. It's an authentic Monster Hunter experience on your mobile that lets you find and hunt monsters in the real world using your phone, whether you're out on a walk, commuting, or just need a quick hunting break between your console sessions. And right now, there's no better time to jump in because Monster Hunter Now is running an epic collaboration event with Monster Hunter Wilds, packed with surprises that any Monster Hunter fan won't want to miss. Let's talk about the good stuff. For the first time, a monster from Monster Hunter Wilds has made its way into Monster Hunter Now. Players can also experience the thrill of riding a Sacred from Monster Hunter Wilds with the new layered equipment and so much more. This won't be available once the event ends, so don't miss your chance to get it while you can, and don't you worry about me and that Sacred look. I already unlocked it. But that's not all. By completing event quests, you'll unlock a special gift code that can be redeemed in Monster Hunter Wilds. These rewards will give you an early head start, making sure you're geared up and ready to take on the next big adventure. So if you haven't already, now's the perfect time to download Monster Hunter Now. It's free to play, and trust me, once you start hunting monsters in the real world, you'll be hooked. Go to kindafunny.com/MH now, jump into the event before it's gone, and I'll see you out there. Remember, that's kindafunny.com/MH now. Happy hunting.
This episode's brought to you by Bilt. Y'all already know I'm a big points and rewards guy, but here's a PSA for anyone who rents. If you haven't heard of Bilt, you're about to thank me. Earning points on rent is now a reality where you pay your rent through Bilt. You don't even have to check with your landlord to start earning points that you can use towards flights, hotel stays, fitness classes, and even your next rent payment. Let me break it down for you. There's no cost to join Bilt, and as a member, you'll earn valuable points on rent and on your everyday spending. Bilt points can be transferred to your favorite hotels and airlines, and even the ones you haven't heard of. There are over 500 airlines and 700,000 hotels and properties around the world you can redeem your Bilt points toward. Points can also be redeemed towards a future rent payment and unique experiences that only Bilt members can access. So, if you're not earning points on rent, my question is, why not? Start earning points on rent you're already paying by going to joinbilt.com/kindafunny. That's JOINBILT.com/kindafunny. Make sure to use our URL so they know we sent you. Joinbilt.com/kindafunny to start earning points on your rent payments today. This podcast is brought to you in part by Stash. Saving and investing can feel impossible, but with Stash, it's not just a reality, it's easy. Stash isn't just an investing app. It's a registered investment advisor that combines automated investing with dependable financial strategies to help you reach your goals faster. They'll provide you with personalized advice on what to invest in based on your goals, or if you just want to sit back and watch your money go to work, you can opt into their award-winning expert-managed portfolio that picks stocks for you. Stash has helped millions of Americans reach their financial goals and starts at just $3 per month. Don't let your savings sit around. Make it work harder for you. Go to get.stash.com/kindafunny to see how you can receive $25 towards your first stock purchase and to view important disclosures. That's get.stash.com/kindafunny. Paid non-client endorsement, not representative of all clients and not a guarantee. Investment advisory services offered by Stash Investments LLC, an SEC registered investment advisor. Investing involves risk. Offer is subject to T&Cs.
Number 3 on the Roper Report. Lego is starting to bring its game development in-house. Key executives say this is the big man, Jordan Midler of VGC. And remember, I mean big, large.
He's a large man.
Yeah, we called him to find out how large he was. He called us from the
Did you
bathroom.
really?
Yeah, he called us on Discord, but he held up like a deodorant, so he looked even bigger. I wanted a banana for scale. He couldn't get it. Yeah, I don't think they have them in Scotland.
No bananas there.
Plus, he was calling from like a torture bathroom. You should go watch the episode. Anyways, back to Jordan. The Lego Group is bringing its video game development efforts in-house. The Danish toy-making giant has lent its name to decades of video game products, but the vast majority of these have been developed in collaboration with third-party studios and not by Lego itself. Now, the firm behind the globally successful Building Kits has said it wants to bring video game development in-house, though it's unclear if this spells the end of Lego's collaboration efforts with other game makers. Quote, "We can say, as long as we're under the Lego brand, we can cover experiences for kids of all ages, digital or physical. Game development in-house is something we're building up," Niles Christensen said, who happens to be Lego's chief executive, to the Financial Times.
Very interesting,
Dumb.
especially following up on our conversation last week about WB games.
Yeah, TT games.
And how we would save them if we could. This is interesting because obviously Lego video games are very important. They review well, they sell well, they are targeted and enjoyed by a key demographic that is kids games, I think, underserved.
Yeah.
Relatively speaking, when you're talking about what the most mainstream video games are these days, in terms of like the mass appeal, the multi-plat titles that the developers are putting out and publishers are putting out. And for as long as I can remember, Lego and video games have been synonymous, and there's been like a quality to them, even if the quality wasn't there. But there was like a perceived quality. And what I mean by this is even before the TT game stuff, like I remember the first PC game that I was like, I need this, was Lego Island.
Okay.
And I don't know what the quality of that game actually is. I don't know if it reviewed well or whatever.
It,
but like that game was like a tentpole moment for kids of a generation. And I feel like, Legos, especially in the early 90s, like I feel like were such a big deal. And I think that's only risen. And I feel like Legos are one of those things, the hobbies that have grown with people, that kids that played with Legos then are still potentially buying them now for collecting reasons, building reasons, whatever it is. Like there's a market for Legos, licensed and otherwise. And they translate, I think, over time even better and better to video games. And once what was it, like early 2000s when Lego finally did when they first did the Star Wars like episode 1 stuff.
I remember.
Like that was the game changer for Lego, where all of a sudden it was no longer just the spaceman and the pirates and the more generic or just like Lego specific things, and then it turned into Licensed City. Thank you so much for this, Kevin. My God, this brings me back. I played this on your PC. I didn't have a PC, so I had to play it at Kevin's house. Demo.
Kevin, did you like it?
I have absolutely no memory of this.
Really? Oh man. Well, I do. Anyways, the Star Wars was such a success that they eventually got the Harry Potter and then so on and so forth. And like they, to this day, now have the entire world. But that then translated to the video game so well.
Yeah, of course.
And we were talking about this in the WB conversation. But, the best way, I think, to kind of like tell, Roger made a really good point about like they should make a Superman game, Lego game, based on the James Gunn Superman movie to allow that movie and the lore of that movie and the world of that movie to live and breathe with children in a different way so that it's ingrained in them. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like,
100%.
If you want these stories and characters to matter and the themes and morals and all that stuff. I'm going on a big tangent here.
You're
My
doing
point
it.
is, Lego's very important to video games. And this seems like a bad move to
Yes.
me because starting fresh is very difficult. We've seen
Yes.
even Marvel games partnering seems to be like the right move.
Yes,
for
you have a
these type of
great
games.
IP, partner with more. That would be my thing. Is like I don't mind. You say we're establishing the Lego Games brand, and there's going to be a team that's looking and working and blah blah. Blah. But like bringing it in house, I think is silly. You should be going. All right, cool. What other developers would I like to see make a Lego game and make it their own? It doesn't have to be the minifigs running around in an open world. It could. I mean,
But does it though? Maybe.
those games should exist. Don't
Yeah.
let me fucking finish talking.
No, but I don't know though. Like look at Horizon, right? Like maybe that is evidence that it
But I
doesn't
think that's
work.
copying what those games were.
But it wasn't though. Like that is a different take. That is going to a studio.
No,
and doing
everybody
something
said that
different.
game felt like what are we talking? You're talking. I'm talking about different kinds of games,
Right, Lego Horizon is a different type of game than the Lego games.
but it's also the same.
I don't think so.
You're taking the minifigs, running around, beating the shit out of everything or whatever.
Yeah, but like even the feel of it, the style of it, like I think it's
The style,
very, very
the feel,
different.
those are different things I agree with. But I'm just saying, like the gameplay, I think you should be able to do more with Legos.
Like what?
I don't know. This
Well,
is
like
something
Lego
I should-
Fortnite, right? Isn't that a great example?
Yes.
Of the building stuff.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
they're already doing that.
and that's a great one.
Yeah.
I enjoy it, and they're adding to it still.
Yeah.
But I mean, like,
can't
why
we
not?
build
Why isn't there like a Lego Sim City? You know
where
what I
you
mean?
can build
On the phone.
everything, you know?
Yeah, exactly.
Brick by brick, Tim.
Brick by brick, Tim.
By
Brick
brick.
by brick. I'm bricked up just thinking about it.
Ew. Yeah. So I don't know. I think this is a silly move, especially if it means you're going to stop collaborating with other people.
Well, my thing is why is this move happening? Is WB Games fucked and TT Games
Probably.
fucked, and they're just like, shit, we got to figure this out now because
They're probably
fucked.
yeah. You're in a when you see that happening and you see like what you assume because what Jason when he was on the show said that TT Games is working on a Lego game that he knows about but hasn't been announced yet with an IP. So you assume we're gonna get a new Lego game.
Infinity Saga, baby.
Maybe it's Superman. Maybe you're right.
Roger Superman. I'm Infinity Saga.
We'll just take it from Roger right now, and then maybe
Nah,
you're right.
I don't like
you
taking
could
it
have
from him.
both. You know what I mean?
He has so little. You know
That's
what I mean?
true. You seen that mustache? Not
Good,
nearly
though.
as good as this one. You know what I mean? Anyways, though, yeah, I don't know. As long as they don't stop collaborating, you can go do this if you want. But I'm not holding my breath for great stuff to come out of it.
Lego is interesting though too because of the licensing and how complicated that must be. Like, all right,
Sure.
cool. So they have Lego and then they have Batman, but it's like so they can make a Lego Batman game, but I'm sure they need to pay DC and like what's that all look like and what?
Well, honestly,
what
it
do
probably
they
goes
have
the
full
other way,
control
right?
over?
Where it's probably they have to pay Lego.
DC has to pay Lego.
Yeah. Well, I mean, no, it's WB has to pay. Yeah, WB who owns DC who has to do this. Yeah, I think they have to pay Lego more than Lego has to pay them. I mean, it's a licensing agreement. I'm sure there's all sorts of little things tied up in it.
Yeah, it's interesting because I mean I'm talking about even the source of it, like the Legos themselves. Who pays who?
So when you're making the Legos,
Uh-huh.
Lego is paying to license the DC thing.
Okay.
Then when they're like, hey, we want to make a Lego DC game, I think Warner Brothers has to pay Lego to get the Lego license. And Warner Brothers already owns the DC license. And then TT gets paid to make the game. That makes sense?
I'm dizzy.
Yeah. I don't know.
The mayor says no S on Lego. It is 2025. The economy is in the toilet. The world is on fire. We're about to go to war with Canada. The least of our concerns is if you're saying what every other human being in the world says Legos. All right?
Lego my ego.
The fucking Lego isn't even in all caps in this article, and I'm not fucking mad. And that's my journalism brain screaming at me. So what I need you to do, Mayor, is just look out your window at the apocalyptic hellspace you live in and pick something else to be angry about. We ain't got time for this.
Yeah, tell him.